What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett.
I'm Lance.
This is Rants or Us.
If you like the content, do us a favor, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, like, share our content.
And today we're going to be doing a video that's near and dear to my heart. Who is the better Hulk? Mark Ruffalo or Edward Norton? What do you think?
I want to say Edward Norton.
Edward Norton? I would say, without a doubt, Edward Norton.
The only thing is, like, Edward Norton had one go at it.
Yeah, he did
Or
have
two.
Yeah, no, he had one.
One go at it. Mark Ruffalo's had 3 chances at this. Ignore my phone, guys. So I feel like he's just had more practice.
Yeah, but he's got worse, not better.
You're right, but
maybe the first time in Hulk, he wasn't so bad.
Also, the concept
He's
of the
got like
Hulk.
4 chances.
The concept of the Hulk has gotten worse for me. Like, now they make him where he's the Hulk all the time, but yet he can control it, and that's not the story.
And the Hulk is like some kind of, I don't know, suburban dad or something like that.
Like
Or what
signing autographs and cooking breakfast at a restaurant or something.
I don't like let me put it this way, I don't like the direction of Marvel's
And
Hulk.
that's a big reason Edward Norton is not the Hulk, because
Yes.
they had a vision of where they wanted it to go. He had different thoughts, and they were
That's
like,
not the Hulk he grew up with.
They were like, well, no, we don't need you then.
I mean,
if you don't agree with us, we don't need you.
I mean, you look at the way he was in his version, and I think it was 2008, was when he went up there, like he did, the normal, typical Hulk thing.
Right.
And then what
the
they're
Hulk
kind
we
of
grew up with.
Yeah,
the Hulk he grew up with.
He wasn't the funny Hulk. He wasn't the Hulk that's going to go out there and have breakfast with you, or that does funny things.
I don't think that should have been a thing for Hulk. Like comedy.
I don't think that really should have been a thing for Marvel.
Hulk should not been brought around for comic relief. Okay.
And see, that's one of my biggest problems about the Thor movies. And the reason why I bring the Thor movies is because the Hulk interplays with Thor a lot. Because
in Ragnarok he did. Now in Avengers they were always having this funny banner back and forth, like Thor was talking trash to Hulk and Hulk's like, and you just see Thor fly off the camera. It's funny,
but it
that's
is.
Not
and it's
what
like
Hulk's supposed to be.
No,
like,
well, I mean, to me, I kind of feel like the Edward Norton Hulk, he was like more serious. He wanted to kind of play it as a tragic figure. Where the Mark Ruffalo Hulk, he's just all about laughs. But see, in the Thor movies, that was the sucky part about it, was he wanted to, they're always having this little back and forth, and it's almost kind of like squabbling kids more than it is, actually adults. Basically, yeah.
But another thing I want to say is, we'd love to hear what y'all think too, don't we?
Yeah.
Just let us sit here and talk, leave a comment, let us know what y'all think. And we'll get back to you and we'll have a discussion.
I'm pretty sure at least 90% of people are going to say Edward Norton.
I don't know, because, there's so many people that are coming up.
I think
it's
this probably
generation.
I think it's age.
Hulk, so that might surprise you.
See, we grew up.
Our age group, 90% of us are going to sit here and say
you think about it from kids that are born in, let's say, the year 2000. Basically, by the time they got old enough, they didn't barely even know Edward Norton's Hulk.
Right.
Like, they know Mark Ruffalo. And so they're going to think that this is just the way the Hulk actually is. And then when you add the Avengers cartoons and all the other kind of things that they have on Disney, so a lot of it is going to play into that role. So yes, maybe you're right. Maybe in time it will. Lou Ferrigno, maybe. I know he's not a part of this, but
you got to make these little cameos in the Hulk movies.
Now, Lou Ferrigno, and here's another thing about Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno is not a fan of the Mark Ruffalo movies. When it comes to the Hulk.
No, should he be? You see, Edward Norton, when he was Hulk, he tried to do it the way Lou Ferrigno did.
Yeah.
That's what he grew up on. That's what we grew up on. So that's what we expected. And then they gave us this Mark Ruffalo version, and I mean, it's just garbage.
Well, I mean, Mark Ruffalo, every movie I've ever seen Mark Ruffalo in, he's not exactly somebody that can handle, like, the hardcore roles. Like, he's a more sensitive side kind of character.
I don't much care for Mark Ruffalo in almost anything. Like, he was in that movie about the magic. Can't See Me or See Me Now or whatever that movie is called.
I just don't like him.
And I didn't like him in that. I like those movies, but I didn't like him in it.
Yeah. that's kind of the way
I'm not a Mark Ruffalo fan.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel toward it. Now, Edward Norton, I mean, Kingdom of Heaven. Oh my goodness, Kingdom of Heaven was one of my favorite movies, and I know he had a small part in it, but he was really good in it. And what was that, American History X?
Yeah,
I mean that was a good movie. But he's played in a lot of different good movies.
Oh, he's been in.
I mean, he's Fight Club.
The Hannibal movie where he was the FBI agent that was pretty much caught Hannibal Lecter.
You know, but he was
that movie was one of the best Hannibal Lecter movies.
I mean, he's just a good character actor. He's a good character.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, I can accept him in any role.
I can too.
Like,
I can too.
Italian Job. He kind of screwed him over and was kind of the douchebag, but he played that role.
I know it doesn't matter. Bad guy, good guy, whatever.
Edward Norton's up on my list of actors because it's like, he is not a role player. Like, what I mean by that is he's not one of these actors that has to be a good guy and everything to make it believable. It doesn't have to be a bad guy and everything to make it believable. He can take any role you give him and he's going to make it his.
Oh, yeah. But let me ask you this. If, let's say, Edward Norton hadn't have had his problems with the direction of the way the Marvel movies were going, and he decided that he actually played it throughout these Marvel movies, would his character as a Hulk been as good as what we actually imagine it to be?
I think so.
Do you think he could have played the funny roles?
I think at some point, I think he could have. I've seen Edward Norton in a funny role before.
Yeah, I have too.
Look at him in Fight Club. I mean, he was fighting himself, and he was. Yeah, I could take him in that. Now, I don't know if they would eventually. I'm sure they eventually by now would have had to switch to somebody else because of the age thing. But Mark Ruffalo's not that young.
No, he's not.
He's gray in all his movies.
I mean, I don't know how. So I would say Mark Ruffalo's probably 40.
I don't know. You know, I think maybe Edward Norton could have still been Hulk. But do you think maybe it's time for a new Hulk?
Oh, I've been thinking there was a new. From the first time I saw Mark Ruffalo, I was like, "There's time for a new Hulk."
Yeah, me too.
That's the way I
who would you think would play a good Hulk?
Anybody. You know what? There's so many actors that I feel like are hungry and work for that. I think that they would actually, do better than Mark Ruffalo. I feel like Mark Ruffalo, and I kind of get what they're kind of wanting to do. They're kind of wanting to make this contrast between, the Hulk is all about destruction, and then you got the Mark Ruffalo character that, he's a real sensitive side about him. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. And I think in that regard they do.
Now, something that bothered me in the Avengers movies. Mm-hmm. What is the deal with making Mark Ruffalo and Black Widow have this, love interest?
I didn't understand that.
I don't get that.
No, I didn't understand.
You're telling me how all the guys that you're around, you choose that guy.
The guy that turns into the green monster.
Great bad. That guy.
Great bad.
Maybe Hulk's out in the middle. Start out like this.
Yeah. There's like a flip-page Flintstone-like situation.
Maybe, I guess. But I don't know. There was no build-up to it, though. It was just like all of a sudden, what was it? Infinity War? Was it that one? I don't know. Which one of them? One of them. All of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, I love you," and he's like, "Oh, you can calm me down." What?
I thought that was the dumbest part. I mean, if you want to talk about all the dumb parts in that, I think that's one of the
in the Hulk story, he's supposed to be in love with the general's daughter.
Yeah.
Not like what Edward Norton's was.
Yeah. Because that's the way it is in the cartoon series and everything
comic books, cartoon series, everything. Everything you could go back and look up.
It was never Black Widow.
Story is. There was never no connection with Black Widow. There was never any. No. That's when they started doing all this stupid team building and crossover type crap.
Yeah. I kind of feel like, I'm not...
I don't hate the crossover thing. I hate it when that's all you focus on.
Yeah. And I don't like the team building ones. I personally feel like we could do without a Justice League and Avengers. I feel like we could do with both of them.
I agree with that.
I like them all separate.
I loved all the Iron Man movies and stuff like that until they got to the Avengers shit.
Yeah, I'm not a big Avengers. I don't hate the movies, don't get me wrong. I don't hate the movies.
Probably save it for another video, but me personally, I feel like the Avengers is overrated.
I feel like the Avengers is overrated. But
Marvel fans are probably just going to just roast me.
Yeah. but I mean, you know, as far as the Marvel films are together, I feel like they're decent films all the way. I think probably my least favorite is the Avengers.
Which one? All of them?
All of
the whole Avengers idea.
I feel like they kind of brought in that guy that was kind of like an X-Men.
I feel like, okay, we talked about this in the previous video. Even that Captain Marvel, even that would have been a good movie if not for all the Avengers there.
Yeah. I know we've even...
I love that movie, but you don't. I think you would have liked it more if it wasn't a build-up to her showing up in Endgame and not doing nothing.
You talking about Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way. I kind of feel like, okay, you've already got Scarlet Witch. Like, that's one thing they don't actually talk about in the Avengers movies, but Scarlet Witch is actually one of the most powerful characters out there. Like in the comics, she actually goes crazy and kills some of them.
What didn't make sense to me in the later Avenger movies was Iron Man's like robot or whatever coming to life.
No, yeah, Ultron.
Yeah, I didn't.
Ultron. Well, I mean that's something that happens in the comics.
Well, I know,
but it's still. I don't know. To me, that movie could have been a lot. It could have been a creepy movie. I felt like
part of my issue with when his robot just had a voice and before he became Ultron was if you close your eyes, you think you're watching Sherlock Holmes because it's Jude Law.
Oh yeah.
So it's like Holmes and Watson.
You know,
you just listen to
him. You know when it comes to Ultron, I was like, Ultron could have been like really take Thanos out of the picture.
Well,
Ultron should have been the ultimate villain.
They ended up turning him into a good guy.
Hey.
No, not Ultron.
No, not Ultron.
I'm talking about the guy that.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I forget. His name escapes me as the most.
Yeah.
But see that was
another romance that didn't make sense between him and that girl that they blew up her city or whatever.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, that whole romance didn't make sense either.
Like I was not personally a fan of that.
Lost there.
I
got my characters mixed up. I apologize. Like I said, I'm DC, not Marvel.
Let's say Ultron. You know, back to even the Ultron thing. I feel like Ultron.
They could have done a lot more with that.
I think he should have been the main bad guy. I mean, that's something maybe we do in a later video. Yeah, I personally believe Ultron is better than Thanos. I mean, Thanos, don't get me wrong, Thanos was he was an awesome bad guy.
My issue with Thanos was they built him up too to just have him die fairly easy too.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. But at that point, he was kind of like, I don't really care.
And another character I think they could have done more with was Nebula.
Yeah, I think they could have. I actually liked her. I mean, of course, I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy.
I like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's one of the things that kind of got me into watching all the Marvel movies.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think they're probably one of the
made those movies.
Yeah, I know.
It was hilarious.
I love Batista. That I know he don't play like a huge role, but I think he actually.
But he didn't have to, like.
No, he didn't. He didn't really have
to, and he still, pretty much took over times in the movies, big time.
But overall, back to the Edward Norton thing and Mark Ruffalo. So
I got way off.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We're way. We're doing like a loop around, guys.
Like always. It is Rants or Us,
but yeah, it's Rants or Us. So let us rant, people.
Edward Norton, hands down.
Edward Norton, 110%.
See, a lot of
times
we
like Mark
debate,
Ruffalo.
But on this one, we're on the same page here.
And we can rant about Mark Ruffalo, but as far as us disagreeing,
I don't have a whole bunch of bad things to say about Edward Norton as Hulk. I don't think I have any.
I don't really have any bad things to say about Edward Norton.
I mean, that's true too.
He's just
true.
He's just
but
great.
Mark Ruffalo, he should never have been the Hulk.
Should have never been considered. I kind of see where they were kind of going with it, where they wanted the contract.
They wanted the scientist part to it.
Yeah, well, they wanted the sensitive guy. They got the sensitive guy, but then they got this.
Sensitive.
Yeah, he's too sensitive, and I feel like the Hulk is too funny.
Yeah.
The Hulk's supposed to be like that's supposed to be like a tragic figure, a tragic problem that he's got, not something that he goes around, making people laugh and signing autographs and things like that. When Mark Ruffalo
first started that, he was kind of like, had that where he'd wake back up and he'd be kind of depressed about what had happened to him. And then all of a sudden it was like,
it just become like one big comedy.
I'm just going to become the Hulk permanently and not have to worry about transforming.
Well, I mean, they kind of wanted the laughs and giggles, like, the fat Thor.
Because they didn't have...
And the Hulk that
they didn't have any comic relief, really. Hawkeye tried, but...
Hawkeye, I kind of feel like, he was useless character.
Hawkeye.
He was useless.
I want to save this for later because I know eventually we're going to do this. Hawkeye is Marvel's cheap version of Green Arrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he is a cheap version of Green Arrow. Very, very cheap version. Doesn't deserve to be in the Avengers, let's put it that way.
Doesn't deserve to be in a comic.
Doesn't deserve to be in a movie.
No. And at one point they talked about making his own movie, and I'm like, please don't.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of that way with Black Widow. I did not want a Black Widow.
Well, I don't really care for that either, but what could they show us in a Hawkeye movie that they didn't show us in the Marvel Xfinity or Endgame, because they went back and showed his family life and all this that you didn't know about it. Yeah. So now we know everything. We don't need that movie.
There's literally nothing.
We do not need that movie, nor do we want it.
No. I feel that way towards a lot of the new Marvel stuff that's coming out. Some of the things we don't really need, but I know they've got to go to a different phase, now.
Right.
So overall, I think we're in agreement.
Edward Norton.
And as always, guys, like I said, like, share our videos.
Leave a comment down below.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Spam that like button.
Yes, definitely. As always, guys,
next time.
Take care.